We're live. Welcome to week 4. Welcome to week 4. So, if you were here last week, right at the beginning, first minute and a half we spent talking about one man. His name was Devon A-Chain. And we said, today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day that Devon A-Chain breaks out. And oh baby, did he break out. So that was a fun day. But that was last week. This is this week. Hopefully we'll have some more big hits this week. Some great calls. Help you with the start sit questions. Less than 40 minutes away from this thing kicking off. So we already got a question in here from Sammy on YouTube. We're live on YouTube and TikTok, as well as Twitter. Though I can't see any comments or questions from Twitter, but I can from YouTube and TikTok. So let's get those started. And Sammy's asking, we got to start too. Puka Nacua, Devontae Smith, or James Cook. So for me, I'm going to go with the 2 wide receivers. I'm going with the 2 wide receivers. Puka Nacua and Devontae Smith over James Cook. So I do think today could be a pretty good James Cook day. I mean, that's one of the most obvious shootouts of the week, right? Between Miami and the Bills. So I like James Cook this week as well, but I'm going to go Puka and Devontae Smith. You think Derrick Henry's getting traded? Is that what you're saying here, fantasy football trainer? Curious as to why you believe that. All right, Maverick is asking, which one do I bench between Josh Jacobs, Chris Olave, CeeDee Lamb, Kyren Williams, full point PPR? So this one for me, I'm absolutely starting both of the wide receivers. I'm starting Olave. I'm starting CeeDee Lamb. So it comes down to the running backs. So for me, I believe I have Kyren Williams ranked ahead, like 1 spot ahead of Josh Jacobs. So I think that's the way I would go. Josh Jacobs has been struggling in that offense, behind that offensive line. It really just hasn't gotten things going yet for him. And Kyren Williams, while is not a super talented running back, he has the role right now in a surprisingly decent Rams offense. So I'm gonna roll with Kyren Williams there. Like I said, I think I have him 1 spot ahead of Josh Jacobs. So that's where we'll go there. So if you're on TikTok, I see your questions. I'll get to those as well. But if you want me to guarantee that I answer your questions, come over to the YouTube channel. We get far less questions on YouTube, so it's much easier for me to see them and to get to them, and I prioritize them. So just find Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube. It's right in my TikTok bio. Hit us up. All right, we got a question here from Sean. Amari Cooper or Adam Thielen? I'm going to go, you know what? I was about to just say, this is an easy Amari Cooper, no brainer, right? No brainer. But now it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different because Dorian Robinson, Thompson Robinson, whatever it is. It's Thompson Robinson. He's starting, this 3rd round rookie is starting for the Browns at quarterback ahead of Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson's out. So that changes things big time for Amari Cooper. I dropped him significantly in the rankings this morning with that news. And Thielen's getting Bryce Young back, which actually might be a negative for him. I think right now, Adam Thielen is better off with Andy Dalton as quarterback. I guess we go Thielen. He's been getting. I mean, he's playing against the Vikings. Terrible defense. Revenge game for Adam Thielen. I think we'll go Thielen over Amari Cooper. This is like a 1 week thing. I hope. That's where I'm gonna go. Alexander Madison or James Ford or Jerome Ford. We're gonna go Alexander Madison. We're gonna start Alexander Madison over Jerome Ford. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I believe that would be the right move, I think, for the Titans to trade Derrick Henry. It makes sense. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But I think if I'm running that team, I think that's what I would do. CJ Stroud or Bryce Young this week? I got to go CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has been. I know he's playing behind a terrible offensive line, banged up. And then you're going to go against the Steelers pass rush. But Bryce Young has done nothing. CJ Stroud has shown us that he can play even behind a banged up, poor offensive line. He can. They're not hesitating to throw the ball. They're dropping back a bunch of times. He's throwing for over 300 yards. Yeah, I like CJ Stroud. It's definitely gonna be a tough one, but if I have to go CJ Stroud versus Bryce Young, I'm still going CJ Stroud. Devon Achane or Miles Sanders? I'm gonna go Miles Sanders here. If you want just the pure upside play, it's definitely Devon Achane. But I do have Miles Sanders ranked ahead. I like Miles Sanders this week. He's got a pretty decent role there. He's catching passes, which a lot more than he was in Philadelphia. So I'm going to go Miles Sanders there, but I absolutely cannot blame you if you want to play A-Chain. Absolutely can't blame you for that at all. But you got to remember that Raheem Mostert is still leading that backfield. Josh Kelly or James Conner? I'm going to go James Conner. Tank Dell, Jahan Dotson, or Jordan Addison. We got to pick one of these guys. We can toss Jahan Dotson out the window. He has been as useless as it gets. We were below consensus at yardsperfantasy.com in the rankings for the season on Jahan Dotson. He got by on a lot of just touchdown variance last year. So it's not a big surprise that he is underperforming. So our other two are either Tank Dell or Jordan Addison. I think we got to go Jordan Addison. We got to go Jordan Addison ahead of Tank Dell. Kirk Cousins is on pace for 782 pass attempts, which would blow away the NFL record, which was set last year by Tom Brady, 733. So that's only good for Jordan Addison. And his route participation has gone up every single week. It started in week 1. He ran 66% of the routes, and it's gone up every single week and up to 80% in week 3. I expect it's going to continue to go up for Jordan Addison. He's a guy I talked about this week on the show. You got to buy him. I'm going to buy him. Even though he's a buy high, I don't even think he's at his highest price. So I'm actively trying to play Jordan Addison. I'm actively trying to buy Jordan Addison. And I would give him a slight nod ahead of Tank Dell for this week. Miles Sanders or Raheem Mostert? I'm going to go Raheem Mostert. Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, or Kirk Cousins? Yeah, so Burrow started to look semi like himself last week. Finally got Jamar Chase going, which is really important for Joe Burrow. Anthony Richardson coming back from the concussion, going against a a bad Rams defense, so the Rams defense has outperformed expectations to this point. And Cousins, I really like Cousins. I mean, I have all three of these guys in my top 10 quarterbacks, but I am going to go Anthony Richardson here. If you look back at week 2, before he suffered his concussion, Anthony Richardson, he played one quarter. He played one quarter, and he scored 17.7 fantasy points. He outscored a bunch of guys, including Joe Burrow. He outscored Tua that week. He outscored Trevor Lawrence that week. And he only played one quarter. So that's what Anthony Richardson gives you. He gives you that nice floor because of his rushing, but it also opens up his ceiling. And Michael Pittman's been playing really well. Josh Downs, the rookie, has been adding something in that offense. He had, 12 targets last week? I know that was with Gardner Minshew, but Richardson has enough weapons at this point to work with on top of his legs, on top of a Colts offensive line that has played well to this point. So I'm gonna play Anthony Richardson there. I think he gives you the highest floor and the highest ceiling. I have him as my QB6 this week. PPR flex. We're gonna go Josh Kelly, Isaiah Pacheco, or George Pickens. Josh Kelly's been really disappointing. I've started him in multiple leagues, multiple times this year, and he's just fallen flat on his face. I know he had a tough matchup in week 2 against, I believe it was the Titans. But he's getting the usage, he's getting the workload, but I just don't feel good about playing him because he's just not playing well. So I'm definitely starting Pacheco over Kelly. So then it comes down to Pacheco or George Pickens. I think we'll go Pacheco. Although that game in Houston could shoot out going against the Texans. It's PPR. Okay, let's go George Pickens. Let's go George Pickens over Pacheco. Pacheco, the Jets have a tough defense, but they will be playing from ahead. So I think it's going to be a nice Pacheco game. But let's go Pickens. I think he could find the end zone today. DeAndre Hopkins or James Conner at the flex. I'm going to go James Conner. All right, now we're talking. We got a Roschon Johnson question. Yes. So he's another guy that I talked about on the trades video this week. And I put out a YouTube short on him yesterday, I believe. Just my clip from that video. Roschon Johnson's time is coming. It is absolutely coming. Whether it's going to be this week, whether it's going to be next week, the week after, it's coming. It's happening. It's going to happen. His snap share has increased week over week over week through the first 3 weeks. It was up to 45% last week. It was Khalil Herbert at 55%, Roschon Johnson at 45%. I expect this week it's going to be pretty much 50-50, and then maybe next week is the week that we see Roschon Johnson ahead of Khalil Herbert. Because if that offense continues to play as bad as it's been, they're going to be like, all right, we got to make some changes to this offense. We got to start making changes. I don't think they're going to be ready to bench, Justin Fields yet. And the running back is probably not the running back is probably the least of their worries right now, as far as the issues in that offense. But they're going to try to make changes wherever they can find. They're already benching Chase Claypool today. I believe he's a healthy scratch. He's out. Next move could be Roschon Johnson playing ahead of Khalil Herbert. So I was a big Roschon Johnson guy all summer long, all through the draft season. So yeah, I'm just sitting here patiently waiting. He's stashed on pretty much all of my teams, whether it's dynasty or redraft. Got him in a lot of best ball teams as well. Roschon Johnson's time is coming. Thoughts on Alvin Kamara this week? So, naturally, with a guy coming off a 3-game suspension, we kind of like, maybe we want to sit and wait a week, let him sit on our bench, get him, reestablished in that offense. But I think they're going full back to Alvin Kamara. Jamal Williams is out. Kendre Miller, I don't think they want to, give him this huge, massive workload to begin his career. With all the injuries he's dealt with, Tony Jones is just a guy, so I'm not worried about him. So I think they're pretty anxious. They're pretty excited to get Alvin Kamara back in that lineup, especially coming off that loss last week. Derek Carr's actually playing, and he's injured, so they're going to want to lean on Alvin Kamara, whether it's on checkdowns, whether it's on rush attempts. So I got Alvin Kamara inside my top 24 this week. He's definitely an RB2. If I have a good option that I feel really good about, I'll play him over Kamara. But otherwise, I'm totally happy starting Kamara right out the gate, right off the suspension today. Tajay Spears thoughts. So I know you're expecting Derrick Henry to get traded. I don't expect that, but hey, if it happens, that's good. It's really great news for Tajay Spears. I like Tajay Spears, all through the NFL draft process. But that Titans offensive line is as bad as it gets. The Titans offense is as bad as it gets. He does give you more in the passing game than a Derrick Henry, which is why we've seen him not start, but out snap Derrick Henry in 2 or 3 games to this point. But I think in that offense environment with that offensive line, it really, really hurts the ceiling of Tajay Spears. I mean, he's played quite a bit to this point, and he's done really nothing. And I don't think that's an indictment on his skill because he's very talented running back. And it's just a really tough environment for him to play in. But he's absolutely worth a stash. I'm definitely stashing him. And if Derrick Henry does get traded or he gets injured, Tajay Spears is going to be a guy you're going to start because I think he might actually be able. Maybe this is crazy. He might actually be a better fit for what that offense is currently because he's more dynamic. He's more explosive at this point. He's got more speed. He's more shifty. He might just be a better fit for that Titans offense at this moment in time because Derrick Henry is just running into a wall behind that offensive line. Whereas Tajay Spears, you can move him around the formation. You can get him into space. He's a smaller guy, so he's not running into the back of that offensive line as much. So I mean, Spears is a decent stash. So I start Puka Nacua or Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk. And this kind of ties into Gerald's question here about Deebo Samuel today. So Brandon Ayuk has a nice matchup going against the Cardinals. Cardinals have greatly exceeded expectations to this point. But Deebo with that rib injury, I think we talked about it last night's show. Deebo, his game is built around physicality, running after the catch, going over the middle of the field, taking hits, taking carries. It worries me that he's not going to be able to do those things with that type of injury because a rib injury is very, very painful. You get hit in the ribs, man, that shit hurts. That shit hurts, especially when they're already injured. So I think they're going to be conservative with Deebo Samuel today, which means it's going to be wheels up for Brandon Ayuk. Matthew Stafford or Kenny Pickett? I'm going to go Stafford today. And James Cook or Derrick Henry. I guess I have Henry ranked ahead, but I think if you want a ceiling play, I think James Cook gives you the higher ceiling today. But I think, let's go James Cook. That game's going to shoot out. Which quarterback do you like the rest of the season? Jordan Love or CJ Stroud? I think we saw the real Jordan Love in week 4 this on Thursday Night Football. CJ Stroud is just going to get better and better and better. And I mean, Jordan Love will as well. He's essentially a rookie. I mean, I know he's been in the league for 3 years, but he's barely played to this point. I'm going to go CJ Stroud, though, because that offensive coaching staff is show no hesitation to just say, let's just let this guy play. Let's just let him play. He's been dropping back a bunch of times. He's making a bunch of pass attempts. He's moving around with his legs. He's got some decent weapons there with Tank Dell and Nico Collins. I expect John Mechie's going to get more involved over the course of the season. Yeah, I like Stroud there. He's just going to get more opportunities than Jordan Love. James Cook or Kyron Williams? Yeah, so if you look at my rankings, I think I have them back to back. And this is one that I've struggled with throughout the week because Kyron Williams has the workload, right? Kyron Williams has the role. He's playing like Christian McCaffrey level snap share. James Cook is losing goal line work and he's losing carries and snaps to Latavius Murray and Damian Harris. So he doesn't have that Kyron Williams workload, but he's more explosive. He's more talented. He's in a better offense and he's got a better matchup. So I have James Cook ranked one spot ahead of Kyron Williams this week. So I'm going to go James Cook. And I think I just flipped them this morning, actually. I made some rankings updates and I flipped them. So I'm going to go James Cook. Ask me in an hour, I might say Kyron Williams. CeeDee Lamb or Chris Olave in Dynasty? I still have Lamb ranked ahead, but it's very, very close. I don't have my Dynasty rankings ahead of me. I update them every Monday morning. But it's very, very close. They're, one or two spots apart. Still going CeeDee Lamb, but they're basically equal at this point. Cortland Sutton or Mike Evans? I'm going to go Mike Evans. Mike Evans has greatly exceeded. I mean, both of those guys actually have greatly exceeded expectations to this point. But I'm going to go Mike Evans. Fields or Stroud? I think we still got to go Justin Fields. I think we still got to go Fields there over Stroud. He's playing against the Broncos. They just gave up 70 points. And they finally started to let him run a little bit more last week. So we're going to trust that, I guess. This is the first time this season that I've ranked Justin Fields outside the top 12. He's not a QB1 anymore. And I don't know if he's going to be the Bears QB1 for much longer either. Aaron is asking 2 running backs and a flex, Tank Dell, Devon Achane, James Conner, or Dameon Pierce. So we need 2 running backs plus a flex spot. So we're starting 3 of these guys. So let's start with the 2 running backs. We're going to go Achane and we're going to go James Conner. So then it comes down to Tank Dell or Dameon Pierce. So which Texan are we starting? I think I'm going to go Tank Dell. Dameon Pierce has been inefficient. He's going to have to run into that Steelers front behind a banged up Texans offensive line. And he's been losing snaps and passing game work to Devin Singletary. And Mike Boone even has been worked in a little bit. So I'm going to go Achane and Connor as your 2 running backs. And we're going to play Tank Dell in the flex. Terry McLaurin or Tyler Lockett? Let's go Tyler Lockett. DeAndre Swift or Jerome Ford? That's easily DeAndre Swift for me. Gabe Davis or Jerry Jeudy? I've never been a Gabe Davis guy. I've never really been a Jerry Jeudy guy, to be honest, either. But I think this could be a week. This could be a Gabe Davis week. I think this is going to be a Gabe Davis week. I have him starting in multiple lineups this week, which is weird because I never have Gabe Davis on any of my teams, but he actually was being drafted at a decent price this year, so I do have him on a couple teams. Which makes me feel like a fraud, how much I've hated on Gabe Davis over the last couple of years. But I think today's the day we're going to play Gabe Davis. Going against the Dolphins, This game is going to shoot out. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of points. And it's just the perfect Gabe Davis type of game. It's the perfect Gabe Davis game. So I'm going to play him. DeAndre Swift or T. Higgins? Let's go DeAndre Swift. Mike Evans or Tank Dell? We're going to go Mike Evans. Pick 2 between Jalen Waddle. Oops, I lost it. Let me find it here. Pick 2 between Jalen Waddle. Shit, I lost it again. What the hell? Devon Achane and Jacoby Myers. So Jacoby Myers is a guy I talked about this week as a buy. I like him a lot until Jimmy Garoppolo was ruled out. At this point, for this week with Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, I think Jacoby Myers is unstartable. You can't play him. So I'm going to go Waddle and Achane there. And I was disappointed. I was hoping Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be able to play this week because he's been feeding Jacoby Myers in both of Myers' games. I know we missed week 2 with the concussion, but week 1 he actually out targeted Devontae Adams. He had a 38% target share, and then week 3 when he came back, he had, I believe, it was a 28%, 27% target share. So he's still getting targeted very, very heavily. But with Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, I can't do it. No. He's not startable. I pulled him out of multiple lineups this morning. Jahan Dotson, Quentin Johnston, or Elijah Moore. This is like the trio of bust wide receivers. This is tough. This is really tough because Dotson has been a nothing for you. Quentin Johnston has been even more of a nothing for you, but he's going to get more opportunity today. I mean, if Quentin Johnston doesn't hit in the next few weeks, it's over. It's over. This is his opportunity. He wasn't able to beat out Josh Palmer in preseason, in training camp, through the first 3 weeks of the season. I mean, Josh Palmer is just a guy. And Quentin Johnston could not beat him up. So, and Dotson, Elijah Moore. See, Elijah Moore would have been my play until Deshaun Watson was ruled out. So that's what makes this question so tough for me. So I think we're going to go Jahan Dotson. But I'm not loving it. Yeah, that's how I have them ranked. I have Jahan Dotson as my wide receiver 51. Elijah Moore, I bumped him down significantly this morning, down to the wide receiver 57. Because when you have a backup quarterback come into the game like this, especially a rookie who his strength is running the ball, it's really tough for these secondary wide receivers to return value. I think Amari Cooper could be okay, but Elijah Moore, David Njoku, Donovan Peoples-Jones, those are the guys who are going to suffer. And then I got Quentin Johnston. Keep scrolling. Where do I have Quentin Johnston? I think I passed him. He's not this far down. I have my wide receiver 59. So just a couple spots below Elijah Moore. So I'm going to go Dotson there. Start one between Elijah Moore, who we just talked about, Dameon Pierce, DeAndre Hopkins, or Josh Kelly. I don't love any of these guys, but that's why it's tough. So I think I'm gonna go. And we can toss out Elijah Moore for the reasons we just talked about. So it comes down to the 3 running backs for me. DeAndre Hopkins hasn't really been great. Dameon Pierce, we talked about a few minutes ago for the reasons I'm skeptical on him. Who's the other guy? Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly has as much opportunity as anybody, but he has fallen flat on his face in 2 straight weeks. So I'm going to go Dameon Pierce. Play Dameon Pierce. I'll go Pierce there. We'll just trust it. The Browns' backup quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he flashed in preseason. But my worry is that, I mean, it's his first NFL start. He's a developmental guy. His game is a lot of rushing is involved in his game, so I'm thinking that he is going to look at his first read. If it's not there, he's going to run it, and he's going to be handing it off to Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt and Pierre Strong quite a bit. So I do think Dorian Thompson-Robinson, like I have him ranked. He's not like the QB 31, 32 for me. I think I've got him like a QB 26, 27 for this week. Because of his rushing ability, I don't expect him to do a whole lot as a passer in his first start. DJ Moore or DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going DJ Moore there. Chris Olave or Kyron Williams, give me Chris Olave pretty easily. Full PPR, let's start 3 of these guys. Jalen Waddle, Tutu Atwell, T. Higgins, Josh Palmer, and Chris Godwin. So we're going to go Jalen Waddle. We're going to go T. Higgins, and we're going to go Chris Godwin. Adam Thielen or Jerry Jeudy? Give me Adam Thielen. Let's go Thielen. Going against his old team. Let's see if they feed him the ball against the Vikings. Okay, 8 minutes till kickoff. Should I drop Brandon? Did you just say, should I drop Brandon Ayuk? Oh, should I drop Tyreek? Oh, God. Let's go. Yeah, if you're going to ask those stupid questions, sure, go for it. Tyler Lockett or Amari Cooper? Let's go Tyler Lockett. Thoughts about Amari Cooper with the new quarterback? We touched on this a few minutes ago, but I dropped him significantly in the rankings this morning with the news that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to play. But if anybody in that Browns offense is going to be close to their normal level of production, it's going to be Amari Cooper. Jerome Ford or James Cook? I'm going James Cook. Nico Collins or George Pickens? I'm going to go George Pickens. Nico Collins he's been getting out-snapped and out-targeted by Tank Dell. Sutton or Brandon Ayuk? I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk. Lockett or Thielen? Give me Tyler Lockett. Kyrie Williams or Devontae Smith? We're going to go Devontae Smith. Amari Cooper or Brandon Ayuk? Let's go Brandon Ayuk. James Conner or Amari Cooper? Is that what it said? I went too fast. Yeah, James Conner or Amari Cooper. I'm going to go James Conner. Nico Collins or Jacoby Myers? Nico Collins. Yeah, definitely Nico Collins. If Jimmy Garoppolo was playing, I would have said Jacoby Myers, but not with Aiden O'Connell playing. Zach Moss or Tutu Atwell at the flex. I'm going to go, give me Zach Moss. Gross, but we'll go Moss. Ayuk or Nico Collins. Give me Brandon Ayuk. Fields or Pickett. I'm still going to go Justin Fields. As gross as it feels, I'm going to go Fields. Pittman or Amari Cooper. Give me Michael Pittman. Nick on YouTube, he's asking Zay Flowers or Jacoby Myers. We're going to go Zay Flowers there. Zay Flowers is going to get to play without Rashad Bateman, but he's going to be the wide receiver one that offense pretty easily. And Jacoby Myers has to play with Aiden O'Connell as his quarterback. So don't feel great about that. I pulled him out of a bunch of lineups this morning because of that. So we're going Zay Flowers there pretty easily from him. Zay Flowers or Garrett Wilson? I'm going to go Zay Flowers. Garrett Wilson or Tank Dell in the flex? Ooh. I guess we still got to go Garrett Wilson, but it's really close. I think I have them like back to back almost. Like right around wide receiver 30. I'm pulling up the rankings right now. My wide receivers. Yeah, I get Garrett Wilson at wide receiver 27, Tank Dell at wide receiver 30. So I'm going to still go Garrett Wilson there. Ramondre Stevenson, Zach Moss, or Jacoby Myers. We're getting a lot of Jacoby Myers questions today. If I can start anybody ahead of Jacoby Myers, I'm going to do it. Just because of the quarterback situation. So I'm going to go Ramondre Stevenson over Zach Moss. Ramondre Stevenson or Devon Achane. Give me Devon Achane. T. Higgins or Jerome Ford, full PPR. I'm still going to go T. Higgins. I got to trust Higgins. We got to run it back with Higgins one more time. They're clearly targeting him. I think he'll bounce back after his drop fest in week 3. Nico Collins or Adam Thielen? Give me Adam Thielen. Zach Moss or Miles Sanders? We're going to go Miles Sanders. Mari Cooper or Adam Thielen or Cortland Sutton? Give me Cortland Sutton. Zach Moss, Devon Achane, George Pickens, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. I need a flex and a running back in PPR. This is a question from Brady on YouTube. All right, we need one flex and we need one running back. It's a PPR league. So at running back, we're going to play Devon Achane. And in the flex, we're going to play George Pickens. So we're going to go Achane at the running back slot. We're going to go Pickens at wide receiver. Roschon Johnson or Jaylen Warren? We talked about a few minutes ago that Roschon Johnson time is coming. It could happen this week. It could be next week. It could be the week after. It's coming soon. But I also think Jaylen Warren time might be coming. He's been getting worked in that offense more and more and more. So I'm still gonna trust Jaylen Warren going against the Texans. We already know that he has a pretty good established role in that offense, even if it's behind Najee Harris. I have him a handful of spots ahead of Roschon Johnson. I do have Roschon as a back-end RB3. I got Jaylen Warren ranked as my RB32 and Roschon Johnson as my RB36. So we're going to go Warren there. Adrian is asking to start 2. Tutu Atwell, Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, and Tank Dell. So give me Javonte Williams and give me Tank Dell. Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, DeAndre Hopkins, start 2. We're going to go Waddle and we're going to go Pittman. And Matthew is asking start 2 and sit 2. Garrett Wilson, Tank Dell, Tyler Lockett, or Elijah Moore. So I'm going to start Tyler Lockett and I'm going to start Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I feel good about that. Tyler Lockett and Garrett Wilson is who I'm starting. J Money, start Amari Cooper over Javonte Williams, Terry McLaurin, James Conner, or Zach Moss. I'm going to start James Conner over him. Normally, if Deshaun Watson was playing, I'd probably play Amari Cooper. But I think playing with a backup quarterback, we got to bump him down. So we're going to play James Conner. James Conner is like he's getting through everything. Terrible offense, terrible line, terrible quarterback. Like he's still producing. Freiermuth or Mark Andrews, and it's 1:00, so it's time to wrap this up. But we'll get through these questions really fast. Freiermuth or Andrews? We're gonna go Andrews, and we're gonna start 2 from Matthew. We've already answered this question, right? We're gonna go Garrett Wilson and Tyler Lockett. So it's 1:00. It's football time, guys. It's here. We did it. If I didn't get your question for some reason, you can find my rankings at yardsperfantasy.com. And I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Thanks.